we go.
So the key is to make sure the end of the spine, so the cocker very edge, is if you're too high on the table, gravitational pull on in position. You're going to take the femur and you're going to actually externally rotate it, or think of it just simply spinning around. On the right flexion, there's more motion available at the knee. That's normal. We just don't want too much motion there. So my hand represents protection of the knee and femoral rotation. Okay, so think of it in a cup.
Yeah.
And I use my whole body if I can, so I can sense the tissue. So we want to bait around, come in, and I add more flexion. I always watch along here because I don't want the flexion to cause compression. In essence, what you're doing is you're spinning and we're actually creating a traction back here, and therefore we should feel it in the outside, backside of the right. The only place you don't want to feel it is inside here, and if you do, it's not a big deal. You just have to switch and make adjustments. Once I bring the leg up, I'm letting the left do what it wants, because that's part of the evaluation. And then I set my body where I come in, and I'm ultimately looking to create a square. And the way I do that is I take my left hand, grab right where the femur is, where it meets the pelvis, and then I hold down, and then I use my body to move the left femur into adduction, so I square up. You feel that intense?
Yeah.
Intensify? And then once I'm there, I'll use my upper body to go forward. I can get a little more flexion. I can use my left side of my femur to add more adduction, while my upper body is actually creating more rotation. The femur is actually external rotating. What this does, it creates a proximal and distal and a distal and proximal mode, as opposed to just moving one bone on a fixed bone. So what I'm doing is I'm using lever arms to mobilize the connective tissue, ultimately just trying to create balance. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Okay? And what also is important too is I take my left hand and actually create a distraction force, so I'm actually pushing downward as if you're pumping it. That pumping really helps the fluid in the joint and helps to mobilize the connective tissue posteriorly. And so I believe that over a very short period of time, you guys are going to feel a lot of results, a lot of balance, because already you're so much looser. We've only done these once. And then I'm just doing like a stirring stick, it's a circular motion. And you're feeling it all in the right spots. So that makes it easy. Okay? Immediately what you're going to do is you bring the left side up. You don't want one lever going down because it can create a shear force on the spine. The spine should always feel very comfortable. But flexion really helps with it. We'll flatten the spine so you don't get a shear force. And then we bring left up and around. You're going to notice that this is what we're really working on, is the connective tissue through here. And so I'm going to bring the right side over. The same situation. And you can feel over time, you can start to feel this right side, almost as if someone put a lot of super glue through the right side, and even down into the tibia.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you...
So this side is stiffer, my hand placement's a little bit different. Actually using immobilization into extension.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if we should just... I mean, we could hit that on the table before going into there, or do you think we should just leave it?
This is first, right here.
Okay, so you want to focus on that? Okay.
Yeah. These are bigger, stronger tissues. If I kept getting an impingement anteriorly, then I'd go there first.
Okay.
So in this situation, we just have to really spend some time on this. It's very objective that this side is stiffer. You see it on both ends. But it's also, the tissue is very healthy. I've done this for a long, long time. And you'll get really good results by paying particular attention to it. And then you always want to walk it off. You're going to do a couple squats because the tissue is really changing. And so you want to make sure that authentic forces now go through the body. Do a couple squats, and it helps to reset the hip joint.